It's one of the reasons why it's like, well, you can create a diaphragm and put it on a speaker, and then put some sand there, and you can, theoretically speaking, vibrate it just the right way, and you'll have someone's face on it that looks very much like that person. Okay, but if you think about that, you can do that with our reality. You can holographically project something as to being there, but it was never there to begin with. And in fact, it used a bunch of energy from elsewhere to make something appear to be there. That's one of the reasons why the idea of our universe being a wormhole universe is actually something feasible to test for. Because you would be able to eventually, at enough of a large scale, in those projections over time, with the thermodynamics, fluid mathematics, all that stuff, to get to the point where you could definitely account for the seemingly random and start to really pick up those real randoms, and then eventually start to piece together enough information in a database that would allow for us to then plot what should be on the outside from our dimensional perspective, be a interactive force that could be from sentient creatures or is another fundamental force in its own right. Possibly. Or something else. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like it would allow for us to get to the point where we should start seeing energy interactions that are not as random as they once first appeared to be. At least to us currently right now with how it is we detect things, which I also have another issue with those detections. The very fact that there's like non-local reality and or realism or whatever, and causality, and it's like that basically says that your very built detectors are effectively unable to detect what it is you say they are doing, and so well that they detect it to be this. That's kind of my issue with that. It's like, you see, that doesn't make much sense to me. Because then there's no entropytic. I mean, you have a separate entropy area and then a very high entropy area. And then there's causality of you inputting something, but then there's the time causality problem, which is an entropytic version to us for our dimension. It's entropy, like the pushing force that ultimately allows for us to interact, which is momentum in its own right, which is a thermodynamic property of my mathematics. So